The Iberian Peninsula, a vast and ancient landmass forming the southwestern corner of Europe, is a realm sculpted by time and the relentless forces of nature. Here the land rises and falls in a breathtaking display of contrasts, each feature more dramatic than the last. Sun-scorched plains, shimmering with heat, stretch endlessly until they collide with the snow-dusted ramparts of the Pyrenees and the Sierra Nevada, where icy winds sweep across the highlands and the air is thin and pure. Dense, primeval forests, thick with holm oak, cork oak and chestnut, cloak the hillsides, their tangled branches forming a living tapestry that shelters countless creatures. These woodlands give way to bright, glimmering wetlands, where reeds sway in the breeze and the air is alive with the calls of waterfowl. This remarkable diversity of landscapes has given rise to an astonishing array of flora and fauna. Iberia is a living mosaic where wildflowers, orchids, lilies and irises carpet the forest floor, and mosses and ferns thrive in the cool, shaded glades. It is a sanctuary where untamed nature reigns supreme, a kingdom ruled by the raw, instinctual dramas of the wild. Here, the Imperial eagle soars on thermal currents above craggy cliffs, and wild horses thunder across the open steppe, their hooves drumming the earth. Throughout the year, this magnificent stage hosts one of nature's most compelling performances, the timeless and often perilous dance of courtship and procreation. Great bustards gather in open fields to perform their elaborate mating dances, while fire salamanders emerge after rain, their colours vivid against the damp earth. For the creatures that call this peninsula home, the drive to continue their lineage is the most powerful force of all. Lynx kittens tumble in the dappled sunlight, learning the ways of the forest, while stork chicks stretch their wings in towering nests perched high above the wetlands. This primal force ignites passionate displays, fuels ferocious conflicts, and demands incredible feats of endurance. Ibex rams clash on rocky slopes, their horns echoing through the valleys, while elsewhere creatures engage in energetic chases and daring leaps. From the deep, resonant roars of stags echoing through autumnal valleys to the sight of red deer herds threading their way through golden forests, the drama of life and survival is ever present. In the shadows, the rare Iberian lynx moves with silent precision, its amber eyes fixed on unseen prey, while the elusive genet weaves through the undergrowth, a ghost in the moonlight. The rituals of mating are as varied as the species themselves. Otters twirl in crystal streams, their movements synchronized in playful courtship, while birds of every hue display their plumage in dazzling shows. These are not simple acts of instinct, they are complex narratives of strategy, sacrifice, and survival. The praying mantis waits, perfectly camouflaged, as the drama of life unfolds around her. Each gesture, each call, and each battle is a critical chapter in the story of a species, a test that determines not only the fate of an individual, but the very future of its kind on this ancient land. In this world, love is a dangerous game. Predator and prey are locked in a perpetual dance, where every moment is charged with risk and opportunity. The quest for survival and the continuation of life pushes animals to their absolute limits, both physically and emotionally. A fox, breathless after a relentless chase, pauses only briefly before resuming the hunt. Friendships are tested, hierarchies are challenged, and lives are often put on the line for the chance to pass on their genes. Vultures jostle for dominance, their wings casting wide shadows over the rocks. The air itself seems to thrum with this primal energy, a palpable tension that builds with the changing seasons. Mist rises from tranquil lagoons. As the first light of dawn reveals the restless stirrings of life, we will journey into the heart of Iberia's wilderness, moving through ancient forests and across sunlit moorlands to witness these extraordinary spectacles firsthand. We will observe the intricate strategies, the surprising tenderness, and the sheer brutal power that define the quest for a mate in this passionate corner of the world. Wolf pairs nuzzle in hidden glades, their bond a testament to the strength and care woven into the fabric of wild existence. The stories that unfold here are a powerful reminder of the fragility and resilience of life. Tiny amphibians emerge from their watery nurseries, each step a triumph over adversity. They reveal the intricate web of relationships that binds this ecosystem together, where the survival of one species is often inextricably linked to the actions of another. Butterflies pollinate wild thyme, and the fate of predator and prey is forever entwined. As we explore the dramatic courtships of deer, lynx, wolves, and more, we will see how each ritual is a unique solution to the universal challenge of existence. Even the chameleon, with its shifting hues, plays its part in this grand ballet. This is nature's grandest play, performed with an intensity that we can only watch with wonder. Bee-eaters swoop in vibrant flocks, their colours flashing in the sunlight as they hunt on the wing. It is a drama where the stakes are the highest imaginable, the continuation of life itself in the wild heart of Iberia. As the sun rises over this ancient land, the cycle of life continues, unbroken and magnificent, on nature's grandest stage. As the relentless heat of the Iberian summer finally loosens its grip, the forests are transformed. A cool, damp mist settles among the ancient oaks and cork trees, shrouding the undergrowth in a silvery veil. The air is thick with the scent of wet earth and decaying leaves, and the first hints of autumn colour flicker through the canopy. In this shifting world, the red deer begin to stir, their senses sharpened by the changing season. This is the onset of the Iberia, the annual rut, when the forest becomes a stage for one of nature's most passionate and primal spectacles. The atmosphere is charged with anticipation, every shadow and movement hinting at the drama to come. The silence of the woods is shattered by a deep, resonant bellow. It rolls through the mist like thunder, echoing from tree to tree. These are the calls of the dominant stags, their voices raw and guttural, vibrating with power and intent. Each bellow is a proclamation, a challenge to rivals, a warning to would-be usurpers, and a bold invitation to the does. The stags stand tall, their necks arched, muscles rippling beneath their thickening autumn coats, antlers thrust skyward in displays of dominance. A mature stag, his body weighing up to 200 kilograms, bellows with such force that the sound travels for kilometers, reverberating through the valleys and across the hills. His call is a living pulse in the forest, a declaration of his reign over his territory and his harem. For the dominant stag, the rut is a time of ceaseless vigilance and exertion. He is driven by instinct and surging hormones, compelled to gather and defend a harem of does. Every moment is spent herding, corralling, and protecting his group, his focus absolute. Food and rest become distant memories. The stag's body grows gaunt, his flanks hollowing as he burns through reserves of fat and muscle. His eyes are wild, his breath steaming in the chill air, every sinew taut with the strain of his relentless duty. He patrols the boundaries of his harem with unwavering determination, antlers held high, nostrils flaring as he scents the wind for intruders. Every rustle in the undergrowth, every distant bellow is met with immediate attention, a potential threat to his hard-won dominance. The does, graceful and alert, graze in small groups among the ferns and bracken. Their coats are sleek, their movements fluid, seemingly indifferent to the chaos that swirls around them. Yet they are the very heart of the rut, the prize for which the stags contend. The does watch the stags with quiet discernment, their favour reserved for the strongest and most persistent. Only the stag who proves his worth through stamina, courage, and combat will earn the right to mate. Tension mounts as rival stags draw near, their bodies bristling with anticipation. The air crackles with the energy of impending conflict, every muscle coiled for action. Younger, ambitious stags linger at the forest's edge, their eyes fixed on the harem. They wait for a moment of weakness, a lapse in the dominant stag's vigilance, ready to seize any opportunity to challenge for supremacy. The first confrontation is a contest of intimidation. The stags roar, their voices overlapping in a cacophony of defiance. They posture, circling each other, antlers lowered, muscles flexed, each trying to outdo the other in displays of strength. If neither stag yields, the standoff erupts into violence. With a sudden lunge, they crash together, antlers locking in a furious struggle. The sound of bone striking bone rings out, sharp and percussive, echoing through the trees. The stags push and twist, their hooves gouging the earth, muscles straining as they battle for dominance. These are not ritualized contests, but fierce and dangerous battles. Dirt flies, breath hisses, and the forest floor is churned beneath their hooves. A single misstep, a moment's weakness, can mean serious injury or even death. Across the Iberian woodlands, these epic struggles play out, the forest echoing with the sounds of combat and the scent of sweat and blood mingling with the autumn air. Among the stags, some bear the scars of many seasons, broken antlers, torn ears, and deep gouges in their hides. These are the old kings, their dominance hard-won and fiercely defended. But every year, new challenges emerge. Young, powerful stags, their antlers sharp and unbroken, step forward to test the old order. They are driven by the same primal urge, their bodies surging with energy and ambition. The battles are brutal and exhausting, leaving both victor and vanquished bloodied and breathless. The forest floor is littered with tufts of fur and splintered branches, silent witnesses to the ferocity of the struggle. In the end, only one can prevail. The victorious stag stands tall, his breath steaming in the cool air, his roar echoing in triumph as he claims his place at the head of the harem. The defeated stag, battered and weary, slips away into the shadows, his reign ended for another year. He disappears into the dense woodland, his form swallowed by the mist and the gathering dusk. Wounded and spent, he retreats to lick his wounds, his body marked by the trials of the rut, his spirit undimmed, but his time as king at an end. In this ancient cycle, the old must always yield to the new. The forest, alive with the sounds and scents of the rut, bears witness to the relentless, passionate dance of life and death that defines the autumn of the red deer. In the dense Mediterranean scrubland, where sunlight filters through cork oaks and wild olives, a ghost glides through the shadows. The undergrowth is thick with rock rose and heather, providing both sanctuary and secrecy for one of nature's most elusive predators. This is the Iberian lynx, the world's most threatened feline and a true jewel of the peninsula's fauna. Its tufted ears and spotted coat are perfectly adapted for camouflage, allowing it to vanish into the mosaic of Mediterranean maki. Solitary and elusive, these cats lead lives of quiet stealth, patrolling territories that can span several square kilometers. But during the cold heart of winter, the silence is broken by a drama as old as the land itself. A female, ready to mate, lets out a series of sharp, haunting screeches that pierce the still air. Her calls echo through the valleys, a signal that the brief window of fertility has arrived. It is a desperate, lonely call, an announcement of her readiness sent out into the vastness of her territory. The Mediterranean landscape, with its patchwork of open clearings and dense thickets, amplifies her voice, carrying it far beyond her immediate domain. This is the signal that sets in motion one of the most delicate and critical courtships in the animal kingdom. The ritual is fraught with tension, as both lynxes must balance the need for reproduction with the instinct for self-preservation. For the male lynx, the female's call is a summons he cannot ignore. His acute hearing, honed for detecting the faintest rustle of prey, now guides him toward the promise of a mate. He must leave the safety of his own territory and embark on a perilous journey, sometimes covering many kilometers across rugged hills and tangled scrub. Each step is a calculated risk, for the landscape is also home to rival males and hidden dangers. His path is a map of scent markings. He sprays urine on bushes and trees, leaving his own calling card to signal his intentions and his presence in the area. These olfactory messages are rich with information, age, health, and readiness to mate. This olfactory communication is a silent dialogue, a way for the two cats to find one another across the landscape. The female, too, reads these signs, assessing the suitability of her potential suitor long before they meet. During this arduous search, the male must continue to hunt, sustaining his strength with rabbits, the primary prey that fuels this entire ecosystem. The lynx's survival is intricately tied to the abundance of rabbits, whose populations fluctuate with disease and climate. The first meeting is a tense and cautious affair. Both cats approach with deliberate slowness, their bodies low, eyes locked, every muscle poised for either acceptance or retreat. These are solitary predators, and intimacy does not come easily. The risk of injury is high, and a single misstep could mean disaster for either lynx. The male and female may circle each other for days, keeping a careful distance. Their interactions a subtle blend of curiosity and suspicion. They exchange low growls and soft chirps, testing boundaries and intentions. A young, inexperienced male might find himself rebuffed by a wary female. Only the most persistent and composed suitors are granted a chance to proceed. Success depends on patience and persistence. The male must demonstrate restraint, waiting for the female to signal her acceptance. He must prove he is not a threat, but a worthy partner, using subtle body language, ears flattened, tail low, movement slow, to reassure her. Only when the female is certain of his intentions will she finally grant him her acceptance, allowing him to approach and complete the ritual that is so vital for the survival of their critically endangered species. Their union is brief but essential, a fragile hope for the future. After a successful mating, the male's role is over. He slips away into the brush, returning to his solitary existence, his genetic legacy entrusted to the female. The female is left to face the monumental task of motherhood alone. She seeks out a secluded den, often among dense thickets or rocky outcrops, where she will give birth and raise her young in secrecy. One young first-time mother was observed raising her litter of 2 kittens, her every instinct focused on their survival. The kittens are born blind and helpless, utterly dependent on her vigilance and care. She is a strict but devoted parent, teaching them the essential skills of the hunt. Lessons begin early, as the kittens learn to stalk, pounce, and recognize the sense of prey and danger alike. In one remarkable instance, she asserted her dominance over her larger male kitten, who had wandered too far. Discipline is swift and firm, for the wild is unforgiving. She subjected him to a harsh but necessary submission ritual, a powerful display of maternal authority that reinforced the discipline crucial for survival in the wild. Such lessons are vital, for only the most adaptable and cautious will survive to adulthood. Her actions ensure that her legacy and the hope of the Iberian lynx will endure. In this intricate dance of survival, every gesture, every lesson, and every call echoes through the Mediterranean wilds, shaping the fate of a species on the edge. Deep within the rugged, forested mountains of Iberia, a remarkable predator roams, one whose intelligence and social complexity have shaped the wild heart of this land, the Iberian wolf. These wolves live not as solitary hunters, but as members of a tightly knit family group, a pack governed by a strict hierarchy, where every individual knows their place. At the top stand the alpha male and alpha female, the dominant pair whose leadership is absolute. They guide the pack's movements, orchestrate the hunt, and, almost exclusively, are the only ones to breed. This social structure is the backbone of the pack's survival. Cooperation is essential, from coordinated hunting to the communal care of pups, ensuring that every member contributes to the group's well-being. Yet, beneath this order, powerful instincts simmer. The urge to mate can disrupt the harmony, stirring jealousy and competition, especially as the breeding season approaches. In the biting winds of February, the pack's dynamics shift. The cold air carries the scent of change, signaling the arrival of the mating season. As the alpha female comes into season, her bond with the alpha male deepens. Their partnership is reaffirmed through gentle nuzzles, playful chases, and subtle gestures, an intimate language understood only by the pack. These courtship rituals are not just displays of affection, but vital signals that reinforce their dominance and unity, ensuring the pack's stability during this critical time. The alpha pair are the heart of the pack, their union essential for the future. Their leadership and exclusive breeding rights maintain order and prevent destructive rivalries. Subordinate wolves respect this hierarchy, rarely challenging the alphas. Instead, they support the dominant pair, helping to raise the pups and defend the territory. The pack's unity is most evident when new life arrives. All members participate in nurturing the young, but only the alphas are permitted to breed, an unspoken law that preserves harmony. Still, the rules are not always followed without challenge. Nature's instincts can test even the strongest bonds. Occasionally, the powerful drive to reproduce strains the pack's laws, creating tension and uncertainty. In one remarkable case, a young female, newly accepted into the pack, came into heat at the same time as the alpha female. The alpha male, drawn by her scent, briefly strayed from his mate, walking with the younger female and testing the boundaries of loyalty. No mating took place, but the deviation was noticed. The alpha female, ever vigilant, sensed the threat to her status and her bond. She tracked the pair, determined to reassert her dominance and restore order. Her response was swift and decisive, not with violence, but with psychological power. Through stares and body language, she made her authority unmistakable. The confrontation was intense. The alpha female's aggressive posture and unwavering gaze left no doubt about who ruled the pack. The message was clear. Any challenge to her authority would be met with overwhelming dominance. The younger female, overwhelmed by the social pressure, submitted completely, lowering her body and ears in a gesture of defeat. The stress was so profound that it halted her reproductive cycle, a testament to the power of social hierarchy in wolf society. With the challenge quashed, the pack's unity was restored. No blood was shed, but the lesson was lasting. Weeks later, the alpha female, her position secure, introduced her newborn pups to the pack, a moment of pride and renewal. The entire family, including the once rebellious young female, now worked together to nurture the next generation, reinforcing the iron law of the pack. Beyond their social drama, Iberian wolves play a vital role in the ecosystem. As apex predators, they regulate populations of deer, wild boar, and other herbivores, maintaining the balance of their mountainous habitats. Their hunting skills and cooperative strategies ensure not only their own survival, but also the health of the forests and grasslands they call home. In the passionate dance of love, loyalty, and survival, the Iberian wolf stands as a symbol of nature's enduring power and the intricate bonds that shape life in the wild. As the Iberian autumn deepens, the forest floor transforms into a rich carpet of acorns, a vital source of energy for its wild inhabitants. The air grows crisp and the days shorten, bringing with them the first hints of winter's chill. Rain and wind sweep through the mountains, making survival a daily challenge for all who live here. For the Mouflon, the wild sheep considered the ancestor of all domestic breeds, this time of plenty signals the start of their most dramatic season, the rut. As they graze among the fallen leaves, they must also contend with unpredictable weather and the ever-present threat of predators lurking in the shadows. Throughout most of the year, the powerful rams, with their magnificent curved horns, live in relative harmony, forming tight-knit bachelor groups. Their thick coats shield them from the biting wind, and their sure-footedness allows them to traverse the steep, rocky terrain with ease. They form bachelor groups, and close bonds, almost like friendships, can be seen among them. Grooming and gentle sparring help maintain these relationships, providing both warmth and security in the challenging environment. They graze together and rest side by side, a picture of camaraderie in the rugged mountain landscape. Sharing shelter and resources is essential for survival, especially as the weather grows harsher. But the arrival of the rut in October transforms this peaceful society. The scent of ewes in estrus drifts on the wind, and the ram's behavior shifts from relaxed to tense and competitive. The friendly bonds that held the rams together begin to fray and then snap completely. Displays of aggression, pawing the earth, lowering heads, and snorting become common as the urge to compete intensifies. The drive to mate overrides all previous alliances. Each ram becomes fixated on the ewes, and the once cohesive group splinters into rivals, each determined to outdo the others. A trio of large, once friendly rams might suddenly view each other as obstacles to their genetic legacy. They posture and display, arching their necks and flaunting their muscular frames. The camaraderie of summer gives way to harassment and suspicion. Each ram tests his rivals, probing for weakness and gauging the competition. The rams begin to shadow the groups of ewes, their focus shifting entirely to the females. The ewes, meanwhile, move through the forest with practiced caution, aware of the tension building around them. What was once a band of brothers becomes a field of intense rivals, each determined to prove his superiority. Territorial displays, scraping horns on trees and scent marking, announce their presence to all. This tension inevitably builds to a spectacular and violent climax. The rams square off, eyes locked, muscles coiled for action. The disputes are settled with ferocious head-on clashes that can be heard echoing through the mountains. The sound of horns colliding is a primal announcement of the struggle for dominance. The rams charge at each other, their thick, curled horns meeting with a sickening thud. Each impact sends shockwaves through their bodies, testing the limits of their strength and endurance. These are not mere shoving matches. They are brutal tests of strength, neck power, and skull thickness. Only the most resilient can withstand the repeated blows. The force of the impact is immense, a shockwave that would be fatal to almost any other creature. The ram's thick skulls and reinforced horns are evolutionary marvels, perfectly adapted for this seasonal rivalry. They will back up and charge again and again, the contest continuing until one of the combatants can no longer withstand the punishment and concedes defeat. Fatigue and injury are common, but the drive to win is relentless. The winner of these brutal contests earns the ultimate prize, the right to mate with the ewes in the area. His victory ensures that only the strongest genes are passed on, shaping the future of the herd. He is the strongest, the most durable, and his genes are the ones that will be passed on to the next generation. This natural selection is crucial for the health and resilience of the species. The losers retreat, battered and bruised, to wait for another chance. Their injuries are a testament to the intensity of the competition, but survival means they may fight again next year. Yet in a remarkable testament to the social nature of these animals, the animosity is short-lived. As the rut ends and the ewes move off, the ram's aggression fades, replaced by a need for companionship and safety in numbers. Once the frenzy of the mating season has passed and the hormones have subsided, the rivalries fade. The battered rams regroup, licking their wounds and re-establishing old bonds. The rams will often regroup, their old friendships restored, and the peaceful camaraderie of the bachelor herd returns. This cycle of rivalry and reconciliation is not only a spectacle of nature's passion, but a vital process that ensures the strength and survival of the Mouflon in the wild Iberian landscape until the dance begins anew the following year. In the highest, most precipitous reaches of the Iberian mountains, where the air grows thin and cold, lives a master of the cliffs, the Iberian Ibex. These rugged mountains are a world of extremes, where biting winds and sudden storms can sweep across the slopes without warning. The Ibex has made this harsh, vertical world its home, thriving where few others dare to tread. Their hooves are specially adapted, with a hard outer rim and soft, grippy centers, allowing them to scale sheer rock faces and leap across dizzying chasms with astonishing agility. Food is scarce in these heights, The ibex survives by foraging on tough grasses, mosses, and lichens that cling to the rocks, scraping out a living from the meager offerings of the mountain. Water, too, is precious. In winter, ibexes lick snow and ice, while in warmer months they descend to drink from hidden springs and meltwater streams. To survive the cold, they bask on sun-warmed rocks by day and huddle together for warmth at night, their thick coats providing vital insulation against the freezing air. But the ibex is not alone in these mountains. Overhead, golden eagles circle, ever watchful for young or weak ibexes that stray from the safety of the herd. On the lower slopes, Iberian wolves prowl, testing the herd's defenses and searching for any sign of vulnerability. The ibexes respond with vigilance, forming tight groups and keeping to the steepest, most inaccessible cliffs where predators dare not follow. Even after death, the ibex plays a role in this ecosystem as vultures and scavengers rely on their remains to survive the lean mountain winters. Life here is a constant battle against the elements. The weather can shift in moments, from blinding sun to howling blizzard, and the ibex must be ever adaptable, ever ready. Their survival depends on their sure-footedness, their keen senses, and their ability to read the mountain's moods. Occasionally, the ibex encounters other mountain dwellers, red foxes, wildcats, and even the elusive lynx, each carving out their own existence in this vertical wilderness. The young, or kids, must learn quickly. From their earliest days, they practice leaping and climbing, their survival dependent on mastering the art of the mountain. Mothers guide their young along perilous ledges, teaching them the routes and refuges that will keep them safe from predators and storms. Sometimes, flocks of alpine choughs forage alongside the ibex, picking insects from the disturbed soil, a subtle partnership in the struggle for survival. Every sense is tuned to danger. A distant howl, a sudden gust, and the herd is instantly alert, ready to flee to the highest crags at the slightest sign of threat. This high-altitude existence is a relentless test of endurance and agility, demanding constant vigilance and resilience. Yet in rare moments of calm, the ibexes rest and groom one another, reinforcing the bonds that help them weather the mountain's many trials. As the sun sets behind the jagged peaks, the ibex herd moves as one, a living testament to the power of adaptation and the will to survive in one of Europe's most unforgiving landscapes. In the thin, cold air of the Iberian highlands, only the strongest, most resourceful, and most resilient can hope to endure the perilous dance of life. Across the vast open plains of Iberia, where the wind sweeps through endless grasslands and wildflowers ripple in the spring sun, a remarkable drama unfolds each year. These plains are home to the world's largest population of the great bustard, a species that has become a living emblem of the Iberian steppe ecosystem. Their presence shapes the landscape as they graze and move in flocks, maintaining the delicate balance of grasses and wild herbs. Each March, as the days lengthen and the air grows warmer, the stage is set for one of nature's most extraordinary performances, the great Bustard's Lek. Here, on these open fields, the males gather to compete for the attention of the females. The great bustard is the heaviest flying bird on Earth, with males tipping the scales at nearly 20 kilograms. Their sheer size and strength are a testament to the abundance and health of these grasslands. At traditional display grounds known as leks, the males assemble in loose groups. Each bird claims a small patch of ground, transforming the plain into a living mosaic of posturing giants. The air is filled with low, booming calls and the rustle of feathers as the ritual begins. The display is a marvel of avian showmanship. A male starts by puffing out his throat, inflating a special air sac that amplifies his calls, while fanning his tail into a broad, gleaming arc. But this is only the beginning. With a sudden practiced movement, the male escalates his display, drawing the gaze of every nearby female. He flips his wings, revealing the brilliant white undersides, a flash of color that stands out against the muted tones of the steppe. Then, in a feat of contortion, he pulls his head back until it vanishes into his neck feathers, his body swelling into a mass of shimmering white. His tail is raised high, fanned out like a banner against the sky, signaling his vigor and dominance. The transformation is so complete that he becomes a massive, gleaming ball of white feathers, a beacon on the open plain. From a distance, the display resembles a giant chrysanthemum or even a floating cloud, mesmerizing in its perfection. In this moment, the male is almost unrecognizable, transformed into a living sculpture of white, visible for miles across the flat landscape. This spectacle is not just for show. It is a living advertisement of his health, strength, and genetic quality, qualities that are vital for survival in the challenging Iberian environment. The females, smaller and more subtly colored, move quietly among the displaying males. They are the judges scrutinizing every detail of the performance. With keen eyes, they assess the size, stamina, and precision of each display, seeking the perfect combination of experience and vitality. Many males are passed by, their efforts unacknowledged, as the females search for the most impressive suitor. Sometimes a large but inexperienced male will display with great enthusiasm, his movements bold but unrefined. He tries again and again to catch the eye of a passing female, his calls echoing across the plain. But often his timing is off, his posture not quite right, and the females turn away, unimpressed. The lack of finesse is obvious, and in the world of the lek, only the most skilled and confident males succeed. Yet sometimes persistence pays off. A female approaches, drawn by a display that finally strikes the right note. Suddenly the male finds himself surrounded by several females, the center of attention at last, but the pressure is immense. Confronted with multiple potential mates, the male hesitates, his confidence wavering. In a moment of panic, his display falters, and the opportunity slips away. The females, ever discerning, move on, leaving him alone once more on the open plain. It is a poignant reminder that in the competitive world of the lek, only the most accomplished males will pass on their genes. The solitary figure of a male bustard standing in the golden light is a symbol of both the challenge and the beauty of this ancient ritual. In the end, it is not just passion or flamboyance, but confidence, experience, and a deep connection to the land that ensure the survival of the great Bustard and the continued vitality of the Iberian plains they call home. As the first warm rains of spring sweep across the Iberian Peninsula, the parched earth comes alive. Shallow depressions in the sandy soil, dry for much of the year, are suddenly transformed into glistening temporary ponds. These fleeting oases, scattered across open heathlands and coastal dunes, are the stage for one of nature's most passionate spectacles. As dusk falls, a new sound rises above the gentle patter of rain, a loud rasping croak repeated with relentless rhythmic intensity. It echoes across the water, a wild chorus that signals the arrival of the Natterjack toad. The Natterjack toad, with its pale olive skin and distinctive yellow stripe running down its back, is a small amphibian with a voice that belies its size. Males gather at the water's edge, their bodies low and alert, each one determined to be heard above the rest. Driven by the urgent need to breed before these ephemeral ponds vanish, hundreds of males assemble in a feverish congregation. Their calls merge into a single pulsating wall of sound that can carry for over a kilometre on a still night. Each male inflates the vocal sac beneath his chin until it swells into a shimmering purple balloon, amplifying his call. The air vibrates with their collective effort, a beacon to females hidden in the surrounding scrub and grasslands. The competition is fierce and unyielding. Males jostle for the best calling spots, sometimes facing off in tense standoffs, their bodies pressed close in the shallow water. When a female finally arrives, drawn by the promise of water and the irresistible chorus, she is immediately surrounded. Her presence ignites a frenzy, as every male within reach surges toward her. The males scramble over one another, desperate to be the one to secure a grip on her back, in the embrace known as amplexus. Limbs tangle, bodies writhe, and the water churns with the intensity of their struggle. This can quickly escalate into a chaotic knot of passion, a living pile of toads, each male vying for the chance to pass on his genes. Multiple males may pile onto a single female, their combined weight and fervour pushing her beneath the surface. In the heat of the frenzy, there is a real danger that the female will be deprived of air, sometimes suffocating before she can lay her eggs. The breeding pond, for all its promise, is a place of peril as well as passion. For the female who survives this ordeal and manages to lay her eggs, the struggle is over. She drifts away, exhausted, leaving behind long, glistening strings of spawn that coil through the water. Soon the ponds are thick with these delicate strands, each one containing thousands of eggs. Within days the eggs hatch and the water teems with tiny, wriggling tadpoles. This sudden explosion of life does not go unnoticed. The ponds become a magnet for predators, each one drawn by the abundance of easy prey. Underwater, the larvae of the great diving beetle, ruthless, efficient hunters, move through the swarms of tadpoles like wolves among sheep, snatching and devouring the vulnerable young. From above, sharp-eyed birds such as kingfishers and herons patrol the pond's edge, plucking any tadpole that dares to venture near the surface. For the Natterjack tadpoles, life is a desperate race against time and danger. Every moment is a struggle for survival. As the days grow warmer, the ponds begin to shrink beneath the relentless Iberian sun. The tadpoles must grow, develop legs, and transform into toadlets before their watery world disappears. They face a gauntlet of threats, not just from predators, but from disease, competition, and the ever-present risk of desiccation as the water recedes. Of the thousands of tadpoles that hatch, only a fraction will survive to grow legs, leave the water, and begin life on land. For every 4 that emerge, just 1 will make it. This brutal numbers game is the price of survival. Yet it is precisely this abundance and vulnerability that makes the Natterjack toad so vital to the ecosystem. Their eggs and tadpoles feed countless other creatures, while the adults help control insect populations. Each spring, those that survive return to the ponds, their voices rising once more in a passionate chorus, a living testament to the resilience and importance of this remarkable amphibian in the wild heart of Iberia. The diverse landscapes of the Iberian Peninsula serve as a grand theatre for the timeless dramas of life, death, and procreation. Here, every sunrise brings with it a new chapter in the ongoing saga of survival, where each species must carve out its place amid ever-shifting challenges. We have witnessed the roaring stags, their reign secured through brutal combat, and the ghostly lynx, whose survival hangs by the thinnest of threads. The Iberian lynx, once on the brink of extinction, now stands as a symbol of hope, its numbers slowly recovering thanks to its remarkable adaptability and the resilience woven into its very nature. We have seen the rigid laws of the wolf pack tested by forbidden attraction, and the fleeting friendships of Mouflon rams shattered by seasonal ambition. The Iberian wolf, with its keen intelligence and complex social bonds, has learned to thrive in fragmented forests, adapting its hunting strategies to the changing landscape. Each species, in its own unique way, performs an intricate dance of courtship, a ritual forged by millennia of evolutionary pressure. The great Bustard, for example, transforms itself into a living spectacle. Its elaborate displays are testament to the power of attraction and the lengths to which life will go to ensure its continuation. It is a dance of passion, danger, and breathtaking beauty. The wildcat, elusive and solitary, relies on stealth and patience, while the agile ibex navigates sheer cliffs with ease, its hooves perfectly adapted to the rugged terrain. From the dizzying heights where the ibex clash horns amidst blizzards, to the sun-drenched plains where the great Bustard transforms itself into a beacon of white. The drive to reproduce is the engine that powers the natural world. These adaptations, whether in strength, agility, or display, are the legacy of countless generations. This force demands incredible sacrifices. Many will fall, but those who endure pass on the traits that allowed them to survive, shaping the future of their kind. It pushes animals to expend vast reserves of energy, to risk grievous injury, and to navigate complex social minefields. The wild boar, with its keen sense of smell and formidable tusks, forages through dense undergrowth, ever alert to danger. Whether through the sheer power of a stag's bellow, the pungent perfume of an ibex, or the chaotic frenzy of a toad chorus, each strategy is a testament to life's ingenuity in the face of its greatest challenge, ensuring its own continuation. The fire salamander, emerging after rain, relies on its toxic skin to deter predators, a unique adaptation in this competitive world. These rituals are far more than just fascinating spectacles. They are the very mechanism of survival. The nurturing care of a mother fox, the vigilance of a partridge guarding her brood, each act is a thread in the tapestry of life. They ensure that only the strongest, healthiest, and most cunning individuals pass their genes to the next generation. The golden eagle, master of the skies, selects only the fittest prey, shaping the balance of life below. This ruthless process of selection is what allows species to adapt and endure in an ever-changing world. The Iberian Peninsula, with its extremes of drought and flood, heat and cold, is a crucible where only the most adaptable survive. The discipline of a mother lynx, the dominance of an alpha wolf, and the choosiness of a female bustard are all essential components in the complex machinery of evolution. Each decision, each adaptation, is a step in the long journey of survival. They are the guardians of their species' future, shaping the legacy that will be left behind, the bonds between parent and offspring, the vigilance of sentinels, and the wisdom of elders all contribute to the resilience of these wild communities. As the sun sets on another day in Iberia, the dance continues. The cycle of life, with all its triumphs and tragedies, is renewed with every dawn. In the forests, mountains, and wetlands, the calls, displays, and battles will begin anew with the turning of the seasons. The otter, sleek and playful, returns to the riverbank, while the chameleon shifts its colors to blend with the changing light. It is an unending cycle of passion and peril, a story written not in ink, but in the very DNA of the creatures who call this wild peninsula home. Their genes carry the memory of ancient struggles and the promise of future resilience. To witness their lives is to glimpse the raw, untamable power of nature and the profound, universal struggle for life and legacy. The Iberian Peninsula is a living archive of adaptation where every animal is both a survivor and a storyteller. This passionate dance, in all its fierce and tender glory, is the enduring heartbeat of the Iberian wilderness, a legacy of passion, survival, and hope for generations yet to come. High above the rolling plains and ancient woodlands of the Iberian Peninsula, a shadow sweeps across the land. It is the Iberian Imperial eagle, the undisputed sovereign of the skies. With a wingspan stretching over 2 meters, this majestic raptor commands both awe and respect, embodying the wild spirit of its homeland. The eagle's hunting techniques are a masterclass in precision and patience. Perched atop a gnarled cork oak or the skeletal branch of a dead pine, it surveys vast territories with piercing golden eyes. Every movement below is scrutinized. A rabbit darting through scrub, a partridge foraging in open grass, or even a careless snake gliding between rocks. When the moment is right, the eagle launches in a burst of power, tucking its talons close as it dives at astonishing speed. Its approach is silent, its strike swift and deadly. The razor-sharp talons lock onto prey with unyielding strength, ensuring few escape its grasp, but hunting is only part of the eagle's story. In the heart of spring, pairs return to their ancient nesting sites, often high in the tallest trees, safe from ground-bound threats. Here, they build immense nests, weaving together sticks, leaves, and tufts of soft grass. Year after year, these nests grow larger, some pass down through generations, becoming living monuments to the eagle's enduring presence. Within this lofty sanctuary, 2 or 3 eggs are laid, each fiercely guarded by attentive parents. The female broods while the male brings food, freshly caught rabbits, birds, even the occasional lizard. Sibling rivalry is fierce. Only the strongest chicks survive to fledge, a harsh lesson in the realities of life at the pinnacle of the food chain. As a top predator, the Iberian Imperial eagle plays a crucial role in the ecosystem. Its very presence shapes the behavior of prey species, maintaining the delicate balance between abundance and scarcity. By removing the weak and unwary, the eagle ensures that only the fittest survive, strengthening the wild communities below. Once teetering on the brink of extinction, the Iberian imperial eagle now soars as a symbol of resilience. Its haunting cry echoes across valleys and hills, a reminder that the fate of this land is forever entwined with the creatures that rule its skies. In the endless blue above Iberia, the eagle's silhouette is a beacon of hope and a testament to nature's enduring power and grace. As dusk surrenders to the velvet embrace of night, a new player emerges upon the Iberian stage, the elusive Genet. Seldom seen by day, this slender cat-like carnivore is a master of shadows, its dappled coat blending seamlessly with the tangled undergrowth of Mediterranean forests and scrublands. With a body built for stealth and agility, the Genet glides through the darkness, its banded tail trailing behind like a silent banner. Large, luminous eyes pierce the gloom, tuned perfectly for the faintest glimmers of moonlight. Every sense is heightened, ears swiveling for the rustle of a rodent, nose twitching for the scent of a hidden insect, whiskers quivering at the faintest of breezes. The Genet's nocturnal journey is a tapestry of survival and adaptation. Its diet is as varied as the landscape it inhabits. A swift leap snags an unwary mouse or shrew. The gentle crunch of beetles and grasshoppers punctuates the hush, while ripe figs and berries offer a sweet reprieve from the hunt. Occasionally it will raid the nests of birds or feast upon amphibians, demonstrating a remarkable flexibility that allows it to thrive where others may falter. Adaptation is the Genet's greatest ally. It navigates the labyrinth of cork oak forests, rocky outcrops, and even the edges of quiet villages, always remaining unseen. Retractable claws and supple limbs allow it to climb trees with ease, escaping predators and seeking out food high above the forest floor. Solitary by nature, the Genet leaves little trace, only a faint trail of paw prints in soft earth, or the fleeting flash of its spotted coat in the moonlight. Throughout the night, the Genet's world is a realm of hidden drama and silent pursuit. Here, every movement has purpose, every shadow a secret. As dawn approaches, the Genet melts away into a hollow log or dense thicket, vanishing as mysteriously as it appeared. In the intricate web of Iberia's wild places, the Genet is a quiet force, a reminder that some of nature's most extraordinary stories unfold not in the glare of daylight, but in the gentle hush of the night. As the first light of dawn brushes the horizon, ribbons of silver shimmer through the Iberian landscape, wild rivers weaving life across the land. These untamed waterways carve their path from snow-capped sierras to sun-baked estuaries, nourishing a world both ancient and ever-changing. Beneath the surface, a silent ballet unfolds. Shoals of endemic fish like the golden-bellied Iberian barbel and the agile southern chub dart among smooth stones and tangled roots, their scales catching flickers of morning sun. Here the elusive Andalusian toothcarp, a relic of prehistoric waters, glides through tranquil pools, its presence a testament to resilience and the delicate balance of these aquatic realms. Amphibians, too, find sanctuary along the riverbanks. The Iberian painted frog waits motionless in shaded shallows, while the marbled newt, adorned in emerald and orange, navigates the submerged forests of waterweed. Their chorus, a symphony of croaks and trills, rises as the sun warms the banks, signaling the promise of life renewed. Riparian forests fringe the waterways, their roots anchoring soil and their branches arching overhead in leafy cathedrals. Alder, willow and poplar sway in the breeze, their leaves whispering age-old secrets. In spring, wild irises and delicate water-crowfoot bloom at the water's edge, painting the margins in hues of violet and white. Each river bend is a crossroads of survival, a place where otters slip silently through the reeds, dragonflies hover in iridescent clouds, and kingfishers flash like living jewels above the current. These wild rivers are more than lifelines. They are ever-changing sanctuaries, sustaining a tapestry of creatures uniquely woven into the heart of Iberia. In the quiet rush of the current and the dappled dance of sunlight on water, the rivers of Iberia remind us, even in the wildest corners, life finds a way, flowing onward in an endless, vital embrace. As twilight deepens beneath the moss-draped canopies of Iberia's ancient woodlands, a hidden jewel stirs. Cloaked in obsidian black and adorned with vivid splashes of gold, the fire salamander emerges, a living ember in the cool dusk, perfectly adapted to the shadowed world it calls home. Born not of eggs but of water, the fire salamander's journey begins in the quiet pools and clear trickling streams that lace the forest floor. Here the female seeks out a secret sanctuary, laying her larvae directly into the current. Tiny gilled offspring drift among waterlogged leaves and stones, their delicate bodies shielded by the gentle flow. For weeks they remain aquatic, feasting on microscopic prey, their every movement a dance between danger and discovery. As the seasons turn, a transformation unfolds, gills recede, lungs awaken, and the young salamanders, now miniature echoes of their parents, leave the water's embrace. They vanish into the damp undergrowth, silent, solitary wanderers by night, hiding from the sun beneath logs, stones, and tangled roots by day. Their skin, moist and sensitive, demands the cool shelter of the forest, where the air is thick with the scent of earth and rain. Few predators dare disturb the fire salamander. Its striking colors serve as a warning, an ancient pact with the forest that danger lies within. When threatened, glands behind its head release a potent toxin, invisible yet formidable, deterring even the boldest of would-be hunters. This chemical armor, unique among amphibians, is both shield and signature, a marvel of evolutionary artistry. Throughout the year, the salamander's world pulses with quiet life. Rainfall beckons them from their refuges, their slow, deliberate movements weaving through the leaf litter in search of earthworms, slugs, and insect larvae. Each step is a testament to patience and resilience, a strategy honed over millennia in the ever-shifting mosaic of Iberia's forests. In the hush of the woodland night, the fire salamander reigns unseen, a guardian of the damp and the dark, its vibrant form a fleeting glimpse of wild magic. Through cycles of water and wood, peril and protection, it endures, a symbol of nature's ingenuity and the enduring mysteries that thrive just beyond the edge of light. As dawn breaks over the rolling hills of the Iberian Peninsula, a symphony of life awakens in the cork oak forests. These ancient woodlands, a tapestry of twisted trunks and verdant canopies, are a sanctuary for a myriad of species, each playing a vital role in this intricate ecosystem. The cork oak, with its gnarled branches and resilient bark, stands as the keystone of this habitat. Its bark, harvested sustainably, regenerates, providing not only the well-known cork but also shelter for countless creatures. Delicate lichens cling to its surface, while the roots intertwine with the mycelial networks below, forming a hidden web of nutrient exchange and communication. In the canopy above, the azure-winged magpie flits from branch to branch, its vibrant feathers a flash of blue against the green. These social birds, chattering and playful, forage for acorns and insects, their movements a ballet of survival and community. On the forest floor, the Iberian lynx prowls with silent grace. This elusive predator, a symbol of conservation success, blends seamlessly into the dappled shadows. Its keen eyes and sharp reflexes are honed for the hunt, ensuring the balance between predator and prey is maintained. Amidst the undergrowth, the cork oak's fallen leaves provide a rich mulch, nurturing the soil and fostering a diverse array of plant life. Wildflowers bloom in a riot of colors, attracting pollinators like the iridescent Iberian emerald dragonfly. These agile insects, with their jewel-toned bodies, perform aerial acrobatics, their life cycle intertwined with the seasonal rhythms of the forest. As summer gives way to autumn, the forest transforms. Acorns, the fruit of the cork oak, drop to the ground, a feast for the wild boar. These robust animals, with their keen sense of smell, root through the leaf litter, dispersing seeds and aiding in the forest's regeneration. Winter brings a hushed stillness, the forest cloaked in a blanket of mist. Yet life persists. The Iberian newt, a master of adaptation, seeks refuge in the cool, damp crevices, emerging only when the rains return. Its journey from water to land mirrors the forest's cycle of renewal and resilience. As spring blossoms, the cork oak forest bursts into life once more. The air is filled with the scent of blooming flowers and the chorus of birdsong. The Iberian hare, swift and elusive, darts through the underbrush, its presence a testament to the forest's thriving diversity. In the cork oak forests of Iberia, every species, from the smallest insect to the towering trees, is a vital thread in the tapestry of life. Here, in this ancient woodland, the delicate balance of nature unfolds in a timeless symphony of survival and renewal. Beneath the boundless sky, where the horizon stretches unbroken, the Iberian steppes awaken. Here, endless waves of golden grasses ripple in the wind, a living sea that harbours some of the peninsula's most elusive wildlife. This open landscape, stark and windswept, is home to the little Bustard, a master of camouflage and subtlety. As dawn colours the grasslands with a gentle glow, male little bustards emerge from their hiding places, their plumage blending perfectly with the tawny earth. With a quiet confidence, they perform their understated courtship displays, necks puffed, heads bobbing, a soft, pert call rising above the whisper of the wind. Unlike their grander relatives, their rituals are a study in elegance and restraint, each movement tuned to the rhythm of the open steppe. Nearby, the great spotted cuckoo flits between isolated shrubs, searching for nests to lay its eggs, while the agile calandra lark soars high, filling the air with its melodic song. On the ground, the wary European rabbit scurries between tufts of grass, ever alert for the shadow of the Montague's harrier gliding silently overhead. Life in the steppes is a delicate balance. Water is scarce, and the seasons bring harsh extremes, scorching summers, biting winters, and the ever-present threat of drought. For the little bustard and its companions, survival demands adaptation, cryptic plumage, nimble movements, and a keen awareness of every sound and shadow. But the greatest challenge comes not from the elements, but from the gradual shrinking of their world. As the grasslands yield to the encroachment of denser woodlands and changing climates, these resilient species must navigate a shifting mosaic of habitats, their future as fragile as the grasses that shelter them. Yet, as dusk falls and the steppe is bathed in amber light, the chorus of life continues, a testament to the enduring spirit of the Iberian grasslands. Here, in the whispering embrace of the steppes, the little bustard and its kin persist, their stories woven into the silent, resilient heart of the land. Beneath the sun-baked stones and tangled thickets of Iberia, another realm thrives, a world ruled by scales, speed, and silent patience. Here, in the mosaic of rocky outcrops, arid scrublands, and forest clearings, Iberia's reptiles emerge as masters of adaptation and survival. The vivid green of the ocellated lizard flashes in the undergrowth, its scales dappled with striking blue spots, a living jewel basking on ancient granite. Agile and alert, it patrols its sunlit territory, hunting insects, small mammals, and even the eggs of ground-nesting birds. With each cautious movement, it embodies the delicate balance between predator and prey. Nearby, the Iberian worm lizard tunnels unseen through sandy soils. Limbless and secretive, it navigates the dark beneath the surface, aerating the earth and preying on soft-bodied invertebrates. Its presence, though rarely witnessed, is vital for the health of the subterranean ecosystem. In the dappled light of Mediterranean woodlands, the ladder snake glides effortlessly through low branches and stone walls. Its patterned scales mimic the rungs of a ladder, a subtle camouflage against predators. With patient precision, it stalks rodents and birds, maintaining equilibrium in the food web. Amidst sun-warmed rocks, the horseshoe whipsnake coils, its slender form poised to strike at darting lizards or unsuspecting insects. Swift and elusive, it is a symbol of the agility and resourcefulness demanded by Iberia's shifting landscapes. Above all, the Montpellier snake, a formidable predator, commands respect. With a keen sense of vibration and a venomous bite reserved for subduing prey, it navigates open fields and forest edges, shaping the populations of small mammals and birds. From the tiny jewel-like Iberian wall lizard darting across ancient ruins, to the secretive viperine snake gliding through cool riverbanks, each reptile carves its niche in the intricate web of Iberian life. They regulate insect populations, disperse seeds, and serve as both hunters and hunted, their presence woven into every habitat, from sunlit grasslands to shadowed forests. As the day's heat wanes and dusk paints the land in gold, these cold-blooded denizens retreat to crevices and burrows, their legacy etched in the very stones of Iberia. In this realm of scales and silence, the resilience of reptiles is a testament to nature's ingenuity, a living thread connecting the wild heart of the peninsula across millennia. As the sun slips beyond the horizon, a new cast of characters takes flight in the Iberian night. In the fading light, the air comes alive with silent wings and fleeting shadows. The bats of Iberia, orchestrating a nocturnal ballet above forests, rivers, and ancient ruins, from the diminutive soprano pipistrelle darting swiftly between tree canopies to the majestic greater noctule whose broad wings slice through moonlit skies. Iberia is home to more than 30 species of bats. Each is a master of the night, guided by the invisible symphony of echolocation, a high-frequency call, inaudible to human ears, that maps their world in intricate detail. Their flight is a study in agility and precision. Insectivorous bats twist and turn mid-air, snatching moths and mosquitoes in a split second. Others, like the lesser horseshoe bat, hover near cave mouths or abandoned buildings, their delicate faces framed by leaf-shaped noses that channel sound waves with pinpoint accuracy. Bats are more than silent hunters. They are vital threads in the Iberian ecosystem. By consuming vast numbers of insects each night, they protect crops, forests, and native flora from pests. Some species venture out over water, skimming the surface to drink or catch aquatic insects, their reflections rippling in the moonlight. In hidden roosts, crumbling castles, hollow trees, and cool limestone caves, bats rest by day, hanging in clusters or alone, preserving their energy for the night's feast. Here new generations are nurtured each spring, their survival intertwined with the health of the land. As dawn approaches and the world brightens once more, the bats vanish, melting into the shadows. Their unseen labor underpins the abundance of life that flourishes by day, a reminder that even in darkness, nature's balance is quietly maintained by wings in the twilight. With the first breath of spring, The Iberian Peninsula is transformed by a riot of color. Sun-warmed meadows, rolling hillsides and forest clearings erupt into a living tapestry, a dazzling explosion of wildflowers. Each petal unfurls in perfect harmony with the season, painting the landscape in hues of violet, gold, crimson, and white. From the delicate Iberian fritillary, its orange wings flecked with black, to the proud wild peony, blushing deep pink amid the undergrowth, the diversity is extraordinary. Carpets of wild daffodils sway in the breeze, while bluebells cluster beneath cork oaks, their bells nodding softly in the filtered light. Orchids, some rare and found nowhere else, raise intricate blooms, their patterns mimicking bees and butterflies to lure in unsuspecting pollinators. This vibrant display is more than a feast for the eyes. It is a lifeline for countless creatures. Bees, hoverflies, and butterflies flit from flower to flower, dusted in golden pollen, their journeys ensuring the next generation of blossoms. Beetles burrow among petals, while moths and ants play their part in this intricate ballet of pollination. For the local fauna, these wildflower meadows are a seasonal banquet. Lizards bask among the blooms, hunting for insects drawn by nectar. Small mammals find cover and sustenance, while songbirds dart overhead, collecting seeds and insects to feed their young. Even the air is alive with the gentle hum of life, proof of the deep connection between flora and fauna. As spring deepens, the wildflowers set seed, ready to slumber until the next cycle of renewal. But for a brief, breathtaking moment, the land is alive with color and promise, a celebration of resilience, diversity, and the unstoppable force of life. In the quiet aftermath, petals drift to earth, nourishing the soil and sowing hope for seasons yet to come. Here, in the heart of Iberia, the wildflowers tell a story of beauty, survival, and the delicate balance that sustains all who dwell within nature's embrace. As spring's tapestry of wildflowers ripples across the Iberian landscape, another marvel quietly takes flight. Gliding over sun-dappled meadows, forest edges, and stony hillsides, the butterflies of Iberia emerge, living jewels, each one a testament to evolution's artistry. From the iridescent Spanish festoon, its wings etched in crimson and black filigree, to the rare two-tailed pasha, with its emerald eye spots and swift, powerful flight, Iberia is home to over 230 species of butterflies, many found nowhere else on Earth. Each species is exquisitely adapted to its niche, their lives woven intimately into the habitats that shape them. The journey of an Iberian butterfly begins in miniature, an egg delicately laid on a host plant chosen with precision. For the Spanish purple hair streak, the holm oak is both nursery and larder. As the caterpillar hatches, it devours tender leaves, growing and shedding its skin in secret. Some, like the Apollo butterfly, make their home high in the mountains, their larvae feeding on stonecrop amid cool, rocky outcrops. Others, like the southern scarce swallowtail, thrive in sunlit clearings, their striped caterpillars blending perfectly among the wild fennel. Transformation is their birthright. Hidden within a chrysalis, the caterpillar dissolves, its body reimagined in silence. Days or weeks later, a new being emerges, fragile, resplendent, and ready to take to the air. Butterflies flutter from blossom to blossom, sipping nectar and unwittingly becoming agents of pollination. Their delicate wings, dusted with microscopic scales, flash colors to attract mates or warn would-be predators of their bitterness. Some, like the fiery red admiral, embark on long migrations, tracing invisible highways across the peninsula. Others, such as the Iberian marbled white, remain close to their wildflower meadows, their populations rising and falling with the health of the land. Each butterfly is both a pollinator and a barometer of ecological health. Their presence signals a landscape in balance, rich in native plants and free from harmful pesticides. As prey, they sustain birds, bats, and even spiders, their brief lives feeding the web of Iberian biodiversity. In the cool of dawn, butterflies bask on sun-warmed stones, gathering energy for the day ahead. At midday they drift among the blooms, their movements orchestrated by the rhythm of the wind, and as dusk falls they find refuge beneath leaves and grasses, awaiting another sunrise. In every fluttering wing beat there is a story of survival and connection, a living link between wildflowers, woodlands, and the creatures that call this land home. The butterflies of Iberia, ephemeral yet eternal, remind us that even the smallest lives can shape the fate of a landscape. Their beauty is not merely for show, but a vital thread in the intricate fabric of Iberian nature.